All right, guys, welcome back to another video. This is Daniel with Leon Investments, where we offer consulting for those who want to learn how to trade in the stock market. Today, what I want to go over is Apple stock and why Apple, I believe, to be presenting itself as a great opportunity to go long on the stock, or in other words, to buy the stock. So they recently reported earnings in which they beat both earnings estimates and revenue estimates. Revenue estimates they beat by 0.03%, while the earnings estimate they beat by 2.23%. But despite the fact that they beat earnings, the stock price has been declining since reporting earnings. It did gap up, sold off, and we do have this one-day reversal candle near a support level, which is the 200-day moving average. One-day reversal candle right here. So this is indicating that potentially we go up from here. Now, this is not the only reason as to why I think the stock price may increase. There are other reasons as well, and that's what I'm going to lay out in the video today. So in recent news, if I take a look at my notes here, give me one moment. So in recent news, as you can see, I posted on the Discord community. If you want to join, it's free. You can learn how to trade in this category down here of channels. So link in the description. Apple analysis. So this setup reminds me of the Google and Visa trades that I did that yielded a great profit. So Google was 27,000, Visa, I don't remember exactly, maybe above $10,000 more or less. And I'm seeing a similar setup to what I saw on Google and Visa. Number one is market reaction to headlines, which is China App Store investigation, which is not confirmed. It's a recent news that came out. I believe this is some retaliation from the Chinese government after Trump has imposed additional tariffs on Chinese imports. Tariff concerns. So Bank of America shows minimal 0.05% earnings per share impact. China revenue decline. Supply not demand issue. So this is for their iPhone sales. They lost the top position in smartphone sales in China, but it wasn't a demand issue. It was more so supply. And this was mentioned by the CEO, Tim Cook, on the earnings call that it wasn't a supply problem. It wasn't a demand problem. It was a supply. They just imported less phones into the country. And so, okay, just got that alert. But, so these are some things that drive the stock price down. And there's that discrepancy between, what the stock is showing versus what the value of the company is really like long term. And this is what usually happens when this negative news occurs, and it's an opportunity to buy into the stock, not financial or investment advice. This is just my opinion, and that's what creates opportunity to profit on the upside. This volatility to the downside. Strong fundamentals. So record Q1 revenue 124.3 billion, up 4%. Services is 26.3 billion, up 14%. Margins up 70 basis points, 46.9%. Record iPhone upgrades where AI available. Upcoming catalysts, April AI global rollout, 80% of production can shift from China, essentially considering the tariffs that are being imposed in China. Apple does have the option to go elsewhere, like Vietnam, to produce their phones, which will offset any negative outcomes from the trade war between the US and China as an attempt to get a better trade deal. Yeah, multi-year upgrade cycle is starting. I believe that was mentioned also on the earnings call that we are approaching a year in which a lot of people will upgrade their phones to the latest smartphone, that being the iPhone 17 when it comes out around September. So for these reasons, I do think that Apple stock is presenting an opportunity to buy the dip, especially near that 200-day simple moving average. They beat earnings. Let's see what the fact of the day is on TradingView. Invites. Apple launched the Apple Invites app for iPhone, establishing users to create and share custom invitations. Apple shares rose by 1.9% following the announcement, reflecting positive market response. Okay, so let's see if we get an increase in price here. The RSI is showing signs of being oversold. I do think, well, let's go back to my message here. Recent analyst views, Bank of America has a price target set at $265. They raised it from $253 per share. Wedbush, $325. D.A. Davidson, $290 per share. So I think the market is being very negative on Apple stock, and this is the opportunity to be aggressive and buying shares of Apple. Warren Buffett said it best: be greedy when others are fearful. Hence why the stock price is down. People are fearful with how certain outcomes may arise due to these tariff implementations and how and also the supposed decrease in sales in China. But there are reasons as to why that happened, which is not wasn't a demand issue. It's not cause for concern as the market is portraying with this downward move. I definitely do think that Apple does have a potential to reach 265. And if that happens, a profit of about $60,000 would be generated on the trade. And yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Again, if you're interested in paid services, feel free to check the link in the description where you can schedule a complimentary discovery call, where I can assess if we are a good fit so that I can consult you on how to trade properly, how to manage risk, and how to manage a portfolio so that you can do it yourself. Appreciate your viewership and consider liking and subscribing. Have a good rest of your day.